differently, but it's very important. So if you go to go to my webpage, Medicine Woman Solution. Now it's SOULTION. Just switch the two letters. A solution or solution. Switch them around. And what can happen is that in your heart, you're gonna see that Under Healing Tools is the one about the heart. And that is very important. But you have to remember to drop. Some people just stay in their head, and I'm like, got my hand in my heart, I'm doing it all, and it's all not working. No, you literally need to get into the breathing. So one, you're going to just do it with me. And they've said that 3 minutes. See, now that's where I can't remember where I had found the information. Let me see if I can find it at all. Oops, because I had wrote it down, but let's see if I can get this. Yes. So when you do this practice, it's about 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes correctly with these 3 steps. It sends a signal to our body and cascades these chemical peptides that I'm always telling you that if they're in the negative state, heal them out. But if they're in a healthy state and it starts to feed the body, okay, it can last 3 minutes, can last up to 6 hours. 3 minutes can last up to 6 hours, where your stress levels decrease the levels of the cortisol. The cortisol decreases. And while the DHEA, the precursor to every hormone in your body, increases 100%, 100. I don't know how to do 100 in my hands, but 100% just from doing 3 minutes. It increases the longevity of your enzymes. It helps you extend your telomeres. It strengthens your immune system. And it helps remove the stress from the immune system. It starts to harmonize. And so why is the brain important? Because if you don't listen, and this is where if you go to the healing tool, 241 healing tools, you give yourself 2 minutes just to sit. And as you sit and you begin to hear, you can hear your chakras. You can hear the data that you've put into your chakras. You get to hear the levels of your maturity of your consciousness. You get to hear the 241s. The 241 is that you have 41 thoughts per minute. And what do you focus on? How much that person's hurt you? How much they are constantly attacking? Every time you do that with energy of, you are investing your life force, which you only get 100% of, into this. What does that mean? If you're spending the hell of a lot every single day towards these thoughts, you're putting it into the program, telling the universe, keep giving me more of the shit. You're sowing and reaping, sowing and reaping. I have to collect proof so I can show people that she's a bitch. You understand? You're constantly, there's no creativity. There is no breaking free. There is none of that. There is no living with the heart. There is nothing. You are stuck in a repetitive hell loop until you wake up to the day when you realize, whoa, wait, what? What I want you to do is you beamed your ass in your body. You have, in each one of your cells, you have all these little receptors that says, me, this is Brenda Jean, this is Brenda Jean Power, this is Brenda Jean, this is Brenda Jean. And I beam myself in. I'm the only one in here. What life do I want? So if I look through my face and I'm this creator, what life do I want? I'm always in pain. I'm like, I don't want that. And I know that I don't want that pain. And the problem is that even if you start to move along and you start to talk positive to yourself and you say, well, at least it's not that, you just canceled your order. Because the energy if you've ever seen what will get your attention is the squeaky wheel. It just kind of counteracts everything. And if you are in your pain is like, oh my God, I'm going to put a smile on my face. your energy is that hell, 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 and a smile on my face. Who's going to win the race? Hell is. You understand? So let's harmonize this part of you so that you can create with 3 minutes that you can allow yourself to breathe in and out. Who's with me? So here's the steps. First of all, if you don't have hands, that's fine. But if you have a hand, doesn't matter which hand, you can go like this. You can put it direct, but know that the area of your heart. Now you have to notice, am I in my head or am I in where my hand is, where my heart is? Become aware. That is the key to how you evolve. So if you can't, just kind of drop your hand and start feeling and grounding yourself, going, oh, I can feel my hand. See, for me, I don't have a shirt here, so I feel my skin, but I can feel my hair. I can feel the necklace. I can feel the heat. I can feel that it's skin. My body and my brain recognize that it's skin. And so it's starting to feel. And now I'm bringing my awareness further down into my heart area. And if I were to feel it and focus, I can feel the pulsating of my heart. Now, instantly, I want to go, oh, there it is. I love you. Now, that's the first part. Give yourself a few seconds to connect there. Okay. In the process of when you're manifesting, if you can do this part of you that can drop and get in here, you can cancel out any of your fears, any of your thoughts, any of the questions, any of that. It is getting them to become aware of what the heart's saying. So let's take a little bit further. Now, the second part is the breath. If you can do a 5 count of inhale, everybody knows what inhale is, right? Doesn't matter if it's a nose or mouth. At this point, we just want you to understand, you know what an inhale is. Now, inhale to 5. Practice. What does that mean? Don't go too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, just kind of 1. I can't count and breathe at the same time, apparently. And then you breathe out at the count of 8. Inhale. Exhale, count of 8. Inhale, count of 5. Exhale, the count of 8. So practice that just for a minute. So if you can bring your awareness, bring the breathing. Now we're going to do the third thing that's required to help you get your body to start to heal itself. Because you're doing your best to turn into the autonomic nervous system, to turn on your parasympathetic so that you can go into rest and digest to help you get out of stress. Now, you know what? The key word is grateful. You already have it. I already have a pendulum. Oh, I'm grateful that I have this so I can use it. This is like my very first one. I lost my very first one, so I got a second one. My pendulum's green. Yes. But I love this. I like it. The length, I like all of it. It's cute. It's steel. Now, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for each student. I'm grateful. Okay, so keep your hand there. I'm grateful. I already know you're here. I'm grateful. And it's amazing to be grateful. I'm grateful that I had food this morning. Now, I know how well I'm grateful for that because the pandemic made it so that I felt like, oh my God, we can't get food. We had food, but we didn't have a lot of food. And I wasn't going out there, and my order wasn't going to come until 4 days later. Well, I didn't have a lot of food. Didn't have the toilet paper, which you couldn't get toilet paper, so you get really wise of what you're supposed to do. And so the parameter of not having makes you really appreciate and be grateful for that you do have. When you've had to live without it, I've lived without electricity for a long time. I've lived without having hot water. I lived without having water. I lived without having really anything decent to wear before or eat, or I went without having friends for a long time. So I know that, but I don't dwell on, oh, I healed a lot of that pain. But that's the parameter, because when you go into a dark room and you have a flashlight, ooh, you're thankful. Or you come in and you have electricity and you turn that on, ooh, you get to see things that you've never seen before. And so you're grateful. So then you're amping, hey, I'm grateful. That's a 1. 2, I have an experience. I'm so grateful. That can start making amp it up to a 10, which can be about 100%. Now, can you focus? That I would say would be the 4th thing. Can you focus? Can you pay attention? Can you pay attention? So you're training yourself to focus on gratitude as you breathe. This is like asking you to walk and chew gum at the same time. I know you can. And if not, you can learn it step by step by step without any shame, because that paradigm is bullshit. Oh, you can feel. No. Zip it, if anybody watched Austin Powers. So now, electricity, you're made of electricity. Apparently I was thirsty, but I'm also magnetic. Now, my students in Source Point are learning about magnetic deficiency. But if you aren't sure how to do anything, start wiping yourself down. Just wipe yourself down. You've seen static electricity. Well, in the front, you wipe yourself down. And in the back, you wipe yourself up. So yeah, I could do the back of my legs, but I'm wiping up. And in my back, I can wipe up. Okay. And I'm going to create this form of energy flow. Very simple, very simple. Okay. Underneath can go up. And this is a good one, because this means on a meridian, you're tracing your heart meridian to your pinky, and you're going to energize that heart, show what you have love. So that's a good one. So, you are, and the important part is to understand that if you're focusing on balancing your electromagnetic energy, then you're not really going to affect all of the deep meridians or energy pathways that go in the different direct flow. So just so you know. Okay. So what we're going to do, so get a good gratitude. I had it once. I got it again. It's not, oh, I want this and I don't have it. I'm thankful for that. Because you see, you want to be able to know what you're thankful for. Because you're looking at, you don't have it, and you're sitting there whining and crying and longing. And yet we need a conclusion, the end game, to say, I've got this. You have that tool already, because you already have what is known as the grateful, because you have parameters. You can go, oh my gosh, if you feel you don't have it, what do you have? I have friends. I have clients. I have students. I have customers. I have a husband. I have kids. I have this beautiful weather out there. I have this home. I have not just, this basically, if you wanted to, this is a pretty big home. It's got a beautiful kitchen and a living room. How I take care of it depends on how much do I love it. Now, I can devote too much time to it, and my home becomes me, but I am not my home. I am so thankful I have a home. And I'll tell you, I love my bed. So I am grateful to have my bed. How do I know that? Because when we went out to camping, yeah, no bed. Oh, you long for that bed. And when you get into it, you're like, I love you, bed. I'm grateful. Okay, you ready? Now, if you're all ready with me, you're going to have to learn to remember to count in to 5 and out 8. Find your gratitude. Get something that makes you giggle and wiggle. Okay. We're going to bring your focus, get out of your head, bring that, gratefulness to hit the giggles, oh my God, it's so nice. Okay. 2 hands, 1 hand, either hand, no hands, focus, whatever. Get out of your head. So get out of your head, come into the heart area, ground, feel your hand, feel that's there, feel if you can tap into the fact that you have blood pulsing underneath your hand. You got the heart pumping there. You got all of this. Yes, I know how to breathe. And I know how to be grateful. So let's turn on the 3 minutes. Ready? Breathe in to the count of 5. Breathe out to the count of 8. In, count of 5. Out to the count of 8. In to the count of 5. Out to the count of 8. Now you start counting yourself. Now if you screwed up or your mind wanders, jump back in. Prove to yourself you got this. I fell down. I can get back up. Notice when you're grateful, when you receive. Notice you're grateful when you give. Notice the giggle in your body. Pay attention to the joy of the feeling. Anything that causes you to wander, if your body's like, oh my God, just breathe in. Say, I take my power back. Say your name and your age. And what you're grateful for. Some of you may have to talk out loud. You're going to find that cup of peace that sits inside of you. Some of you are hearing how the ego is complaining, how the body is complaining. Just remember to bring yourself back. I want to thank you for joining me. Did you make it? Did you do all 3 minutes? Did it feel like hell? Let's heal that out. If you sat there and you're like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Oh, I'm bitching and moaning. Give me comments. What words came up? What came up? What came up? Oh, thing fell out. What came up for you? Okay. Tell me some words. I want to hear it. Tell me some words. I want to hear how much of complaining, how much of what came up for you. It's not staying up the way I want. Well, darn it. Talk to me. I'm in the room. A headache, nothing. So you were able to stay in that joy space for the whole 3 minutes. Smiles, excellent. And a headache, because maybe you're not used to breathing in that rhythm. And so the body will start wanting to detox. So if anybody has a headache, let's help this out. You want the liver to help you process and the kidney to process. Okay. So all I can say is, Letty, you must have a happier life and your body must be really good. If you're not having anything, did you have any peace, any joy with it? Or was it just an empty space? So for those that have had like a headache with it, take your, you're going to do both feet, but you're going to find the big toe. You're going to come up and follow the bone, and the second toe, follow the bone. And these two bones, you'll fall into a hole. I want you to rub it. And this is going to help you with processing the chemical peptides that your body and any toxins that your body that wants to get rid of it. Okay. And then after you've done that about 30 times, that's deep penetration. Okay. Deep and rub, not slidey don't work. Deep penetration. Then you're going to go to your pinky toe and follow it to the middle. Okay. And you're going to push in and rub that one 30 times. And this is to help your will. Your will. I don't have willpower to do this. Your will. And this will that, all right. Okay, so your will. That's what it's doing. So your willpower is help to get your willpower back. Now, you're also going to go to the big toe, and you're going to follow it all the way to the ankle. And behind the ankle is the kidney point to help you process this stuff, you know, when you're about ready to pee. So you're taking the talc in the body to release the toxins. Now, some of you have a tendency to, so deeply rub that 30 times. Some of you have a tendency to take and your feminine part, your perineum part, your pelvic floor, and you tighten it. And when you tighten it, you can cause a headache. So some of you got to learn to just kind of relax that muscle down there. Open that chakra up. You will survive. You will do just great. You got to open that up. Now, oh, wonderful. So glad to see that, Lorene. Wonderful. I did the brain the other night, bits of peace, but breathing was hard. Okay, so I'm asking, is this an individual journey for her? They said, no, this is pretty much universal as well. Okay, so when you're breathing, is it in the chest? And are you able to take and breathe through the belly button? Meaning, like, can you get your body into the rhythm? A lot of people forget how to breathe because of fear. So that can take there's a cranial part that gets stuck one way or the other. It gets stuck up or gets stuck down. And so sometimes we will forget to breathe into the belly button. Your hands will get pushed out. Just kind of know which way you're breathing. Okay. And if you really want to, you can put your hands on the back to do kidney breathing. And that is, you're expanding this diaphragm here. Oh, that's wonderful, Lorene. And how do you do that? Is you literally can feel how you're bringing the air down. That pushes your hand out. So a lot of times we don't bring it down enough. Sometimes we only bring it here. But if you, this is where you can jump in and use your nose to breathe in, to open these areas up. And that will actually start to help with the part of the body that wants to stay stuck in a trauma state. So it can help relax that as well. If you can get the smiles and the giggles, then what happens is that you've just proved to yourself that you're going to also expand the energy out. And you'll take your, like, it's like it starts creating healthier boundaries. So you're taking your power back from anything you may have put out to the universe, or anybody that tries to feel like you have an enemy. Heal that out. Do those things. It's the uncertainty. It's the fear. It is all of this. It doesn't matter. If you respond, then they will keep attacking. When I began to heal out how my response was to my ex, response to this woman that tried to take my children, my response, I healed my response. And what happened was that I healed it to the point where I didn't respond, not numb, not suppressed it, nothing. It was, shit, you don't affect me anymore. He's over there throwing a tantrum, and dang, what? This is awesome. And he knew it too. It felt like he had melted away. It's like the witch, when you throw the water on the witch in the Wizard of Oz. I didn't have to react. I didn't have to respond. I didn't have to be that program. And when I stopped being that program, he knew it. He knew, just like she did. She knew she lost. And with a feeling like the woman was trying to take my kids, I surrendered that I couldn't do anything about it because my fear was in the way. And I just said, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I sat in a gratitude, and Spirit took care of everything. Everything. Hello, Robin. So